Hi, welcome to episode 6 of the StressKnits podcast. I'm Stacy, also known as StressKnits on Ravelry and Stacy Elstone on Instagram. Sorry, I got a text from one of my friends. Distracted me right away. But this is the second time I'm doing this, so we're just gonna keep rolling with it. So thank you to new and returning viewers. Thank you for checking me out. Thank you for watching me still. It really means a lot. You guys are super, super sweet, and I just really appreciate all of you. And a special thank you to Kemper of the Junk Yarn podcast for giving me a shout out on hers. It really means a lot coming from one of my favorite podcasters. I have not been watching a lot of podcasts this week. I've been really busy with schoolwork. So if you have a podcast and you gave me a shout out, I'm sorry I haven't watched it yet. There are a few, I think, that have mentioned me, and I just really haven't had the time to give them a watch. So I am hopefully going to be able to do that next week. But this upcoming week is insane, and I'll get into that later. But this is a knitting podcast, so we should probably talk about knitting. First, I want to mention what I'm wearing. This shawl is the Windswept shawl by Molly of A Homespun House. I knit this out of Wool and Vine Yarns, her Volca base, in a misfit of her Lust Fast, Love Hard. I think that's what it was called. It was a Valentine's Day colorway last year. I got it as a mystery skein, and I love it. I love this base so much. It feels so nice next to skin. It's the perfect shawl yarn, and so I just wanted to mention this because this shawl is gorgeous. I actually think I'm going to knit another one here pretty soon, because this was the first lace shawl that I ever knit. And I mean, the lace, there's not much lace, and I didn't do the best job, and I left off a repeat of it. So hopefully the next time I do it, it will be more clean looking, and yeah. And then the other thing I'm wearing is my featherweight cardigan. I knit this late summer, early fall this year, and it's knit out of Madeline Tosh Twist Light in the Astrid Gray colorway. And I put both these things on today because Doug and I are having our engagement pictures taken on Sunday, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm wearing. And I don't know, I just really love this cardigan, and I haven't worn it as much as I would like. I haven't worn the shawl lately, so I just wanted to put it on and see if I liked it. And I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna podcast in it to show off some of my old hand knits. So there's that. But I guess I'll talk about that now. I am going home this weekend. It's not only my birthday on Saturday the 20th, but Doug and I are getting our engagement pictures taken, so I'm going back home to Michigan, and I'm really excited. My mom should be in any minute now. She's going to her mom's, though, so I don't know if I'm gonna see her tonight, but my mom's gonna be in West Virginia, so I'm really excited that I get to see her. I haven't seen her since I've been down here, so since January. So I'm really excited to see her at the beginning of January, like January 4th. It's been a really long time. So I'm really excited to see her and to just go home and see my dad and my sisters and Doug and my brother-in-law and my soon-to-be brother-in-law. So I'm really excited to celebrate my birthday with them. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that being said, I will not be podcasting on Monday because it is a travel day. I will be coming back down here on Monday with Doug. So I'll probably have a podcast up on Tuesday, Wednesday the latest. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you know, and I'm just really excited. because I love going home, and I missed 2 birthdays with my family being down here for school, so I'm really excited that I get to celebrate with them this year. Okay, so knitting, right? I have an FO, I have a half-finished object, I have a lot of works in progress, and I have some enabling. So, without further ado, I finished my birthday socks. So I finished these shortly after podcasting last time. I'm telling you, class knitting, things go by really fast. However, I knit the second sock about 2 or 3 rows shorter. And it wasn't the ribbing because I always do the same number. I feel like it's easier to count rows of ribbing. So I always do about 20, 25. 30 is usually the highest I go, and those are with like Doug socks. But yeah, so they're a little wonky, but I still love them. These are knit out of Hedgehog Fibers sock in the birthday cake colorway. So yeah, I really love them. What else can I say about these? Oh, I did an Eye of Partridge heel flap, and I did my normal sock recipe. So cast on 64 stitches, decrease to 56, and then a normal sock. And I just did a wedge toe on this one. Yeah, so I'm really happy with them. This is the new base by Hedgehog Fibers, and it's not as soft, but I still really, really, really like this base. And I will definitely be purchasing some more because there are a lot of really pretty colorways that I have had my eye on that are not club colorways that I can't buy. So I actually purchased a mini skein. I'm gonna take some coffee. Take a sip of coffee. I purchased a mini skein of Film Noir, and I'm really excited to get that. That should be coming in soon. So I am really loving Hedgehog Fibers lately, and I want your opinion on this, because as you know, I'm doing well, maybe you don't know, I'm doing an indie dyer of the month, just kind of showcasing yarns, and that's another reason why I wore this shawl, because it was knit out of Wool and Vine Yarns, who is my indie dyer of the month. So do you consider Hedgehog Fibers an indie dyer? Let me know in the Ravelry thread. The link to our Ravelry group will be in the down bar. So come on over, join the group. There will be a giveaway next week of a skein of yarn because a wonderful viewer messaged me and sent me some donations for you guys as well as my own stash, and that was supposed to come in Saturday, but I'm jumping all over the place right now, so bear with me. My mind is very scatterbrained today. It's been a long weekend, and then I have a lot of stuff to do this week, so I'm kind of all over the place, so if you can just bear with me, that would be great. Yeah, so it was supposed to get here Saturday, and didn't get here Saturday, so I was like, oh, it's probably gonna be here today. Looked, it is in Huntington, but it won't be here until tomorrow. So I'm really excited to get that. So next week I will be letting you know about the giveaway, because we have hit over 200 subscribers on YouTube, and I want to say around 60 members in the Ravelry group. So that just warms my heart so much, and I'm so excited that I get to give some stuff away and just show you guys how much I appreciate you sticking with me. Yeah, so stay tuned for that next week. Yeah, so back to knitting. I have a half-finished object. You did not see this last week because I cast it on, I don't know when I cast it on. I think I cast it on Thursday? Wednesday or Thursday. This is my Arnie and Carlos sock. Don't mind the ends that I still have to weave in. But I wove in like 8 ends, and then I had these to weave in and said, I'm just gonna wait. So this is Regia, Arnie and Carlos. Is it Regia or Regia? If you know, let me know, because people say both ways and I have no idea. But yes, so these are by Regia. The Arnie and Carlos design line, the first one. And I had my eye on this colorway for a really long time. This is the Summer Nights colorway. I have the tag right here. Actually, yeah, this is it. So it's the Summer Nights colorway, or 03657, in case you're wondering. But when the first design line came out, I really wanted to knit Doug a pair of socks for his birthday. And I saw the Fall Nights colorway, which is blacks and oranges and reds, and it's beautiful. And I was like, he would really love a funky pair of socks like that. So I bought that instead. And I knit him the pair of socks, and he lost them. And so I give him a hard time about it all the time. And I was like, at least it wasn't an indie dyed pair of socks that I made you. And he feels horrible about it. But I finally bit the bullet and got this colorway for myself. So hopefully he finds the socks and we can have some matching Regia, Arnie, and Carlos socks. But I used a Regia, just a solid 4-ply. It's the white creamy color. The ball band is behind my computer. My setup, I'm going to explain my setup really quick. So I have my laptop. I'm filming on my iPhone. So it's sitting on my laptop. But on my laptop I have the Unabridged Journals of Sylvia Plath book because it's thick. It's very thick. And so I have that, and on top of that is my Art of Instruction postcard set. So then I set resonance. So I set my iPhone on top of that so I could get where I'm looking eye level instead of looking down or looking up at the camera. Because the first time I did it, I just set it on top of the Sylvia Plath book, and it bothered me a lot that I was looking down on. My shawl is falling off. That I was looking down at the camera. I didn't like that so much. So I was like, oh, I have this postcard set and it's pretty high, and I tried it and I really like the level. Being by the elevator is fun. Sorry that they're loud. Yeah, so I set that on top of the postcard set, and it's the perfect height. I really like it. So that is my setup. It's very improvised. It's very me as far as what it's sitting on top of. Yeah, so I think it's fun. But back to the sock, right? Because I am all over the place today. So Arnie and Carlos sock, I did contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs because I only purchased a 50-gram ball of it, because I also wanted to go outside my comfort zone and make my first pair of mismatching self-striping, self-patterning socks. Because every time I get the pattern or stripe sequence to line up almost perfectly. But I was like, you know what? I am going to see if I can grow as a human being and just do it randomly. So this is sock number 1. I also did a rounded toe because I really like it when it's contrasting. I think it's really cute. So I cast on the second sock. Pardon my ends again and my cord. Yeah, so it's almost the exact opposite. I did the cuff, you know, as you do. So I started here. And I actually really like the way that it's turning out, and I think it's going to be a really cute pair of socks. But that is where I am at on the second one, and the socks went by really fast because they're self-patterning. They are exciting. I don't know where to put this right now. I'm gonna put that back there. They're self-patterning, and yeah, so it goes by really fast. I knit the first sock in like a day, so that was really fun. Onto whips. I guess that was one whip. The second whip is my mom's sock. I didn't do much work on it. I finished the gusset. Yeah, that's that. I'm knitting this out of Wool and Vine yarns in the Stark sock base, which is a discontinued base. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And yeah, I'm just doing a little shorty sock because my mom likes the shorty socks. Oh, the colorway is a misfit of one of her vampire colorways, and I can't remember which one. Slash, if it's the one that I think it is, my mom is probably not going to like the name of. So I'm just gonna leave it a mystery. It's more fun that way. So I really like the way that's knitting up. Nothing really to write home about. I really love this part. I always love the heel turn. It's so cool. Yeah, so there's that. What is next? Sweaters. I worked on sweaters this weekend. I'm very, very motivated to finish at least one of my sweaters and to fall back in love with them. So the first order of business was to fall back in love with my gable sweater. And, ooh, gonna adjust myself. My gable sweater is, who is it by? It's by Hannah Fettig, and it's a Brooklyn tweed pattern. So it's knit differently than I've ever knit any sweaters, knit bottom up, and you have to connect the sleeves and knit the sleeves separately. I'm a top-down raglan kind of girl. Those are the only sweaters that I have ever knit with. I'm going to readjust this because it likes to slip off. Okay, I think that's better. Yeah, so I just found it very difficult to feel motivated to knit the sleeves. And that's still what I'm on. I have not knit on the sweater at all, but I blocked the body of it. So I have these on some holders. I'm using my Knitter's Pride Carbons interchangeable needles. So I have them on a cord, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be long enough. But then I remembered I was knitting it out of a superwash merino, and superwash merino grows a lot. So I blocked it, and then I folded it like you do, and it got a little wrinkly. But I really like the drape, and I love the way that it grew lengthwise. So I also really, 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 really love, don't mind this, I'm going to fix it, short row shaping that I didn't do the best. It's fine. I love this little detail, and it's just so sweet, and I love the fabric of the yarn. This is a wash fingering in the Pearly Muscle colorway, so it's this really pretty browny gray purple color. This is like my shade of purple. I love it. So yeah, so I blocked it, and the body is going to be perfectly long enough, and it's going to hit me right where I want it. I compared it to some other sweaters that I love to wear, and I'm just so excited to finish this now that it's something that I know I love and I'm going to wear a lot. So I am going to bring the first sleeve with me when I go home and knit on that because it's relatively mindless. Yeah, but I made some progress on my ladies classic raglan. If you recall, I finished the body the last time I showed this to you and started on a sleeve, and sleeve number 1's done. So I knit this a little shorter than I would have liked to knit it, but I'm just so ready to have this off the needles. I want to wear it. I love the way that this is coming out, but I have it on and it hits me right at the wrist, and I also noticed, and I've knit with this yarn before and it does grow, so it's going to be perfect. I need to block it out 2 inches longer, and it's going to. So this is knit out of Shepherd's Worsted by Stonehenge Fiber Mill in the blue spruce colorway. So this is my sweater so far. Sorry if it's blowing out the screen. It doesn't like this color very much. Set back to normal. Okay. So I'm really excited. I need to start the second sleeve and do the collar, and I'm done. So I'm also bringing this with me when I go home and just knitting on some sleeves. And hopefully I can have this done by next week. So I'm really excited about that. So as excited as I was about that, instead of starting the second sleeve, I needed to work on my brother-in-law's bankhead hat. And, you know, here it is. My needles broke in the middle of a row, and some stitches dropped really far down, like down into the ribbing, and I was about 2 inches past the ribbing, and I could not save it with it looking nice. Because this is a gift, I want it to look really nice, and if it was just mine, I think I would have just sucked it up and done my best picking up the stitches, called it a day, because I would have turned it around and nobody would have ever seen it. But this is going to my brother-in-law for his birthday, which is Friday, and I could not get it to work. So what happened was I was knitting with my Knit.6 hat needles, size 8 US, and I was knitting and stitches weren't moving, so I pulled the stitches and the needle came out of the connector, but they're not interchangeable needles, so it just came out. And I've had this problem with Knit.6 needles before, so I think I'm done with Knit.6 needles. I love the Caspians. I think they're beautiful. They just came out with a new wood stain for their needles, and I think it's also beautiful, but I've just had so much trouble with Knit.6 needles, and I don't know, maybe I'll give them a try again here soon, but I need to take a break from them because they're making me mad. So that was some negative knitting this weekend. This is Malabrio Rios in the Pearl 10 colorway. It's beautiful. I'm going to knit the bankhead hat. I'm gonna start this again tonight. No big deal. It's gonna be fine. It's a hat. It's gonna go by really fast, but I just needed to put it in timeout for a little bit. Yeah. So, what else did I do? I did some work on my Cozy Memories blanket. Not a lot of work, but I added 3 squares. So there is one square that has a billion ends because I use self-striping yarn, and I don't like the weird garter bumps that happen when you don't change the stripe on the correct side. So this is a skein I received in a mini swap with Laura of Jinx Yarn and the Dyer's Notebook podcast. This is another crafty girl in the Great Wave on her strong sock. This is Hedgehog Fibers Sock in Mint Julep. See, there's a lot of them. And this is all of the ends. Coloring book yarns in their sock base in Bubblegum Princess. It's one of the Adventure Time colorways, and I knit a pair of socks with that this summer, and I haven't put in a square yet. So I'm almost done with that column. Yeah, so I only have a few more to put in before I have squared off my blanket. And I have some swaps that should be coming in soon, and I'm excited. But yeah, so that's that, and that's all of my works in progress. I feel like my voice is going, so I don't know what's going on with my throat right now. But iced coffee to the rescue. Enabling, as far as something that I have in my hands right now and is not in the black hole of the post office right now, is actually a skein for Doug, and this is counting as his Valentine's Day gift. He got me those flowers, and I have hair all over. I shed so much, but this is Coloring Book Yarns in the Marceline colorway. It's another Adventure Time inspired colorway. Marceline is the vampire queen, and I just thought he'd really like them, and I showed him a picture of a pair that's already knitted up on Ravelry, and he loves them and thinks that they're going to be his favorite socks. This is just her normal sock base, and it is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards, and 100 grams. And you can find her at coloringbookyarns.etsy.com. I love her. She's wonderful. I actually caught an update, which I have not done ever, because I also love her BMO colorway and her Lumpy Space Princess colorway, so I'm slowly getting, and her Finn colorway. I want to knit a pair of socks out of Finn for Doug as well. So I'm slowly collecting the Adventure Time colorways when I started with Bubblegum Princess this summer. And I was really tired, and I saw that she had a new colorway, and I was like, I'm gonna see if she has a shop update then. And she did, and this was the only skein left, and I said, Doug needs those socks. So here they are. And that's it for enabling as far as what I have in my hands right now. I will have more next week because my birthday, for one, and two, I have packages coming. Yeah, so just some brief podcasting news. The Indie Dyed Knit Along is still going on for another month and a week and a half till the end of March. Knit anything out of your favorite indie dyed yarn, as long as it is at least 50 grams and you are not more than 50% done with the project before February 1st. There is a thread in the Ravelry group for StressKnits, again, link in the down bar. So please join, show us what you're working on, talk about your favorite indie dyers, enable us. Yeah, so please come and join that. And because of my wonderful viewer friend who is sending some stuff, I will also have skeins of yarn to give away as prizes. I will probably do 1 or 2 instead of mini skeins. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, so I think that's it. Oh, also, I started an Ask Me Anything thread. I saw this on the well, a lot of podcasters are doing this, but Candace of the Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast mentioned that she opened one, and I said, that's something that I haven't done, and that's a really good idea. Just because I don't know what you guys want to know about me, and I'm really bad about talking about myself. So feel free to ask any questions within reason, and yeah, so please join the Ravelry group if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Happy knitting. Bye.